think so. I should have sat in Chad's seat just to, cause a... Hi, guys. Emily, are you on the mic or no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're on the mic.
Lightly on the mic.
It's just Chatty Natty tonight, you guys. No Chatty Chad. Oh, I see my parents. You guys are nice and prompt and early. Good job. Julian, I see you. Already ready for sleepies. Matt, I see you. Von, I love it. Von makes me think I can be a comedian. Kelly, I see you, girl. Oh, I see Big Chad. I see Chad. Hefe's in the house. I told you guys we went live, Chad. You'd be proud. Charlie, I see you. Chad's doing big things. He's in Florida, holding it down at a conference. I believe he is speaking tomorrow, so you guys keep him in your prayers that he doesn't shit the bed.
Wow.
But he won't. He'll do great. You are missed. Albert was upset that he didn't get to see you, Chad.
Yeah.
And so was his wife. They just had to be stuck with Chatty Natty. But, we're doing it. Should we unmute Chad? Because we know your boy likes to talk. And heaven forbid he don't have the mic right now. Chaddick, you are officially unmuted.
I'm unmuted. Oh man. Well, I'm tired though. Like flying is not my thing, man.
Well, not only that, you're on
It's
the East
already.
Coast.
Julian, I'm feeling you, man. It's 9 o'clock where I'm at right now. I know it's bedtime. My bed's right over there.
Trust
See
and
it?
believe, Chad's going to want this meeting to end promptly on time tonight.
I mean, we dancing out at 6:55 Pacific Standard Time tonight.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you hopped on. And I don't know if you want me to do the normal intro or if you want to do
It
your...
just sounds so much better on the mic. Why don't you go ahead and hold it down for us tonight?
Okay. As you guys know, anybody that obviously frequently comes to our Recover Out Loud, Chad always does the intro, and it's really special just because, and for people that are new, it's very important for you guys to know as well, why this even exists, why we Recover Out Loud, why the Hopeaholics exists, and we never want to forget Justin, who was Chad's son-in-law, who passed away from the fentanyl crisis on 9/11 of 2022. And, it was on Chad's heart. He's been in the industry for 25 years, owned a treatment facility for 23, the first one. And he's just a business guy. So all of a sudden, a tragedy hits his family, and it was on his heart to be a voice for people, the ones that don't have a platform or can't speak, especially the parents and siblings or loved ones that are in so much pain from losing somebody to the crisis that is actually going on at this current moment, or to the disease itself, because as we all know, we also want to Recover Out Loud to break the stigma. There's no shame in asking for help, and we want to spread as much hope as possible, as well as carry Justin's legacy, because the ones that we lose, we never want to forget. And so Chad created the Hopeaholics, and then I was blessed to walk in here and have never left, because this mission is so important to not only myself, but to my family. And I have my parents on here. Miss Penny is always on here as well, because at one point in time, I think families and all of us on this meeting, I'm sure we've all experienced some type of shame with having the disease. And it's not like that today. So I'm very grateful for Chad and the Carlson family for creating not only the facilities, but for Chad to actually, one of the biggest things in the program is action, right?
Yeah.
And so he had something heavy on his heart, and instead of staying in pain and in silence, he created something I think is absolutely beautiful. And I'm just really grateful to be a part of it. So that is the reason why we Recover Out Loud. That is why this podcast exists. And that's also why Chad is out in Florida, because we're on a mission. And it doesn't matter. We're not stopping until everybody either knows the Hopeaholics or just knows that help is available and you don't have to suffer inside and feel like you're alone, because you're not. And obviously, we have almost 50 people in this meeting that we all come together, and we are a community. And I really, truly am grateful for every single one of you guys that tune in every single Tuesday night for our Recover Out Loud. So, Chatty Natty went on, but I think I hit it pretty well. I hope.
I mean, honestly, you hit it better than I've been hitting it lately. Good job.
Thank you. Thanks
Can
you.
we all,
See what
can we all give
happens?
her a round of applause for holding it down?
Teamwork, baby. You know,
Made me feel emotional over here.
dynamic duo.
But that's the truth. I mean, like I like to have a lot of fun and play and but at the end of the day, man, we all have a serious disease, and left untreated, it's fatal, and I know what it feels like to lose a loved one, and I know there's many people on this meeting right now that knows what it feels like to lose a loved one to this disease. And we do recover. There is hope. There is help. Help's available. And and it's right here. And how we help each other is one addict helping another, man. And that's how we get through each day.
That's right.
And hopefully we go and we do some work and then we get that daily reprieve. And when we get that daily reprieve, man, I've lost the desire to use. Like,
And that's
I
a
don't
miracle, boy.
crazy stuff happens in my life, man, and my first thought is, and I'm gonna go pick up. My first thought is, my first thought nowadays is, man, I must be onto something really good because the devil's attacking me.
That's right.
That's kind of where I go today. And then I get excited about life, because if the devil's attacking you, man, you're doing God's work.
It's trying to pull you back.
Yeah, it's great perspective.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like this program has given a massive perspective shift.
That's right.
Because I think we all know, that's been in the rooms for a little bit, our thinking is skewed. All right, well, with that, Albert, it's your time to shine.
You knew his name.
Of course. Come on. I don't
you
have
have
I don't
Emily put it
have
on
you
the
to play.
board for you?
I don't have you to play off of, so I better get my stuff together.
Albert,
Yes.
it's nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes, he's I told him, don't worry, you're just stuck with Natty tonight. You'll meet Chad sometime.
On the next one.
But yeah, go ahead, and you have the spotlight.
Well, my name is Albert, and I am a grateful recovering addict. And for a long time that carried stigma. Not just because of all the things. When I say that, I remember all the things that I did, and all the hell that I put everyone around me through. My story starts, at least I believe, when I was around 8. My mom was diagnosed with a terminally ill disease, and my brothers and sisters moved out, and I didn't know how to cope with that. And I would take care of her. I would give her pills, cook her food and do laundry. That's typical 8-year-old stuff, right? And I think that led me down this rabbit hole of this is what life is. And once I compared that to other people's, in school, in elementary and junior high, I found out that that's not the case. I didn't make friends that easy because I had nothing in common. We didn't have very much money. And that was just making me stick out like a sore thumb. At least I felt like it. And along with that, I ended up graduating, high school. And, the first person that I thought was a friend came around and, I got stuck on drugs. For me, it was meth. And it was really harsh, man. A lot of the feelings went away, like, hey, what's going to happen to my mom? All these things. But along with the worrying, also the caring and the loving, and I just became a shell of a person. I didn't know it yet, but I got consumed by how people perceived me at that point. Right? I lost a little bit of weight. The girls started paying attention, and I'm like, why do they want to hang around with me now? I had nothing changed, I thought, but for sure it was just this thing where I was off and running. And from not making friends to all of a sudden you have drugs, you have money, and so then everybody wants to hang out, until that ran dry. For me, using it was fun at first. It was fun for, I'd say, maybe about a couple years. Little by little, I noticed that my friends that I thought were friends started I was left alone again. My story involves a lot of prison, right? I went to prison a few times, county jail a lot. And coming out in there, well, first of all, in there, it's just this whole atmosphere of always being on your toes, right? I went from being a nurturer and this and that, and there was like no in between, antisocial, and then boom, you're thrown in this place with people and you can't get away. And that was a tough thing to navigate. I ended up coming out, and I went to the first 12-step program, right, on a court card. At that point, I didn't really have a relationship with God. For me, it's Jesus, right? Everybody has their own. I understand that. And I'm thankful for that grace, man, that the 12-step program gave me. Because I remember being a little kid asking God, hey, my mom's dying and you're seeing this, and can you help? And he didn't. So I said, oh, this guy must not be there, right? And that led me to I got books on witchcraft. I spent my lunch money on that, all kinds of alternative. Maybe some witchcraft will help my mom get out of this. I tried just about everything. And then I decided, around like 10, he's not there. I'm going to just live my life, and whatever I can do to make this feel better is what I'm going to do. And whether that hurts people or not is irrelevant. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Right. Any kind of morals that I thought I had were out the window. And coming out of prison, and getting that whole, you have to have a higher power. And, being in there, I'm like, dude, what higher power? What can it be? Right? There's nothing. Like, I'm it. Like, I decide what I do and what I don't do. And then the epiphany hit me. Oh, my drug is my higher power. It has me, I have to do whatever it tells me to do. I have to rob, I have to steal, I have to carry guns, I have to sell. Like, I have to talk to myself, because after I realized that maybe there is a higher power, and it sucks because it's drugs. Wow. Jesus wasn't a thing. And once I realized that, okay, this is a higher power. So how do I navigate this? Because that sucks. I glazed over the part that said that, it should be loving and caring, right? I didn't stick around in the rooms long enough to figure that part out. Right after that, I'd say I had like a type of spiritual awakening. I started seeing things, right? My mental health just went right out the window after that, after I realized there is some kind of higher power. Started seeing shadows. I started hearing voices, and that persisted for years, man, really. It's hard to keep track, After everyone was gone from my life, all I had were the voices. All I had was the drugs. And I used to talk to them. I'd be alone in a hotel room and just like talking to them. And, they weren't nice. It was a lot of like degrading, a lot of like, look at your life, look at this, look at that. Just a lot of taunting. And that really did weigh a lot on me. The first couple of months of that, I was able to sort of keep it at bay. No, these are not real. These are not real, right? After a while of it not stopping, I started talking back, man. And I would talk back, and I'd be one of those, people who's like, sort of just talking to yourself, right? And around this time is when I started building my life again, right? I had a job, and then I would lose my job, and then I'd have a job and lose 7 times, I'd say, within, the next 3 years of that, after getting out of after that encounter with a higher power, did I realize that I'm tired of it. I don't want to build a life in order for it to fall apart, and I was still hearing the voices, and I remember it clearly, right? All my friends, or people I considered friends, didn't have anything to do with me. My family was starting to get real tired of it. They were supportive. And these are people that I stole from. These are people that I lied to. These are people, right? I did all kinds of horrible things. And I'm surprised it took them that long, honestly. They weren't picking up calls anymore. And I got really depressed. And I remember I was driving up a hill. It's like Colima Road. There's a big hill. And I just said, you know what? I think this is it. And I just pulled my car off the cliff, man. And I drove off 200 feet is what the paramedics told me. I drove off. I went down 200 feet. I remember closing my eyes. and I just hear, the trees going, just breaking and glass shattering. And I thought, okay, I'm going to die with a branch impaling me. That's what's going to happen. As I'm going down, this must have been only a couple seconds, but I envisioned it. And by the time I went down to I hit the bottom of that canyon, I just got out and I just started crying because I didn't die, and I said, man, you won't let me live. You won't let me die. Are you even there? And they took me in, man. I mean, they asked me, hey, well, I crawled to the top of that canyon and I just sat there crying. The cops came and they're like, hey, man, what happened? I said, yeah, I tried to kill myself, man. They're like, but you're okay. I said, yeah. They're like, that's a 200-foot fall. I was just like, wow. Yeah. They took me in. They're like, all right, well, you're a little crazy, so we're going to take you in. And they held me for 3 days. All the people there were like, wow, this is a great thing, right? We're in the same place Kurt Cobain was, Exodus. And I said, yeah, that's great, right? And when I came out, I came back to reality. Nobody's around. The drug is there and willing. And even though it had just led me to that, I picked it right back up again. And, I tried building my life again. It took a little bit longer this time. And about a year passed where I was able to stay clean long enough to get a job, but not being clean enough to actually make it work, right? It was always unstable. And the depression kicked in again with nobody being around. And I just remember I took a bottle full of pills. Again, I didn't learn. A bottle full of pills. I took them all and just, I started crying, man. I got down on the floor. I had an apartment at the time. I had a good job. I had like a cool little Land Rover. Like I had stuff, right? But I knew I was going to lose it again because that's what happens, right? That's the pattern of addiction for me. And I remember just praying to this higher power, man. Again, I'm like, and I was at the end of my rope, man. I think this is where I surrendered. If any defining moment was, I just got down on my knees and I was praying. I guess that's what it was. I was really crying out, God, if you're there, have something good come out of my life, right? Have somebody get something good, even if I don't, because everything I touch, I destroy. Relationships, jobs, things, friendships. And it was a real prayer, man. It was a prayer of surrender because I really didn't care if I had to suffer anymore, right? It didn't matter anymore, as long as something positive would come out of that. And I didn't know what I was praying to. I still didn't. And for the first time, I heard a soothing voice, which was, amazing because all those years I didn't hear anything soothing. It said something or I heard, right? Something beautiful is going to happen to you. And after that, dude, I quit my job. I told my boss, hey, I'm quitting. And the Land Rover, like, I put the key on the tire. I called the dealership. Hey, you're going to have to come and pick this truck up because I'm not going to make payments. And the girl that I was living with, right, we were sharing an apartment. I said, hey, I'm leaving. Where are you going? I don't know. I got my backpack. I put like some Top Ramen or whatever I had around into the backpack. And I said, something beautiful is going to happen, but I don't know what. So I just, man, like on one, right? I took off following the star, bro. Sort of like, right? I'm walking in that direction. I had sold a couple things. I had like tools and stuff that were mine, right? And I sold them. So I had a couple $100. And so that night, I remember I stayed at like a hotel. And not knowing what the next move was, this wasn't like the other times where people were done with me and they took away my stuff, right? You're fired. We're repoing this. You're kicked out. It wasn't that. Now, I didn't know how important that would be later, but so after the money ran out, because it ran out pretty quick, hotel rooms are not cheap. And I went homeless and I started sleeping in the parks and under bushes and, whether rain or shine. There was some instances where, that they had for the winter months, like they would send a bus, right? And so sometimes I had shelter. And one day, some lady handed me a Bible, right? For me, that's what happened. They handed me a Bible, and I said, what am I going to do with this, right? So, well, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just walking around all day. The other homeless people used to call me Marathon Man. That's how much I walked. And I had a nice tan, too, because I was always out in the sun. And I started reading it, man. But not right away, you know. I said, you know what? If you supposedly made me, if you supposedly, you know, you're the guy, then I'm gonna try to read this, and I really want some answers. Like, not that you owe me them, but I don't know what else to do. And I did my thing, and it didn't work. And so, as messed up as I am in the head, and with all the issues I got, because I was still using on and off, even out in the street, I said, I'm gonna understand it the way you want me to, because if you made me, then you know already. And there was a couple of times, man, like there was one time where I was walking to the homeless shelters where the bus would pick you up. And I remember I was praying. I had already been reading my Bible for about like a month. And I'm like, okay, well, God, I missed the bus, dude. And I don't know. I don't have money. Nobody wants to talk to me. Like, I just need a phone or something. And before I could finish that, I found a phone as I'm walking towards it on the floor, like an old flip phone, right? Because that's how long it was. And I'm like, oh, dude, what? I'm like, and something clicked. I'm like, oh man, this God that I've been ignoring, right? This God that I didn't believe in. Because my family tried to take me to church. And I would go to them because they're like, this is going to help you. And I would laugh at them, right? I'd be like, oh, look at, they're dancing, singing to nothing. It all came back to me in that moment. Like nothing, like what just happened. And something just grabbed a hold of me there saying, man, he's been watching my journey this whole time. And so that was a foundation, man. You know, being out in the street, there was a bunch of other things like that, just like that I would pray for and he'd come through. And it was very depressing being out there. It was really sad. It was really that's why I love the name Hopeaholics, right? Because that is ultimately what I needed. I just didn't know what to hope in. And, you know, family wasn't it, you know, institutions wasn't it. And I remember I got really sad, and this is what got me, right? And I'll move on after this, but this is what got me. I was feeling suicidal again. I was feeling tired. And I read this one scripture that said, if the world hates you, remember, it hated me first. Oh, man, I started to cry because everybody had turned their back on me and saying, you're done. That's it. We're not going to help you anymore. You're homeless. You can't come into my house. And I understand why, right? I have a family. I have kids now. But it doesn't make it any less true that I was sort of out there to fend for myself. And here's this free heart out there that sort of says, I feel you. That's it. I wanted to know more. I found my best friend. And I went to jail one more time, prison one more time. After this, God is watching me thing. And it was different this time. No more running with the politics, no more, you know, violence, no more that. It was me praying with my cellie, me going to the church services, praying for them. It was this memorizing Bible verses. It was just different. It was like God was saying, hey, let me conquer this spot that you used to stomp around in. Let me take care of this. And then I got out and I met the love of my life, right? And I warned her, man, hey, you know, I got a lot of issues. You got 2 kids. I got a lot of issues. I'm working on them. I'm trusting God to come through. I got a job. After that encounter with God, man, even despite my relapses, he didn't, not everything was lost, right? It was not the same pattern of losing my job, losing my place to live, losing my car, losing my friends. That was not it. It was like after that encounter, he let me keep things, right? But I had to keep checking myself and saying, hey, you know what? I had a lot to do this. Like, I need forgiveness. I know I'm messing up. Like, help me out, right? To help my heart that somebody actually keeps forgiving me a million times because everybody else was done forgiving me. So I had this one thing. And I got married and we had kids and we did good. God didn't take it from me. You know, I didn't lose stuff anymore. So now I saw that this God that's there, like, really cares about me and is not taking things away, but I couldn't stay clean. I managed to stay clean for months. I was an everyday user for the first 5 years and I couldn't stop. And now it's like I could stop for like 3 months and then I'd use for like a weekend and I couldn't stop. And then I'd stop for another 3. That was a pattern. It always felt shaky, and it is shaky, to be fair, right? Not showing up to appointments or not taking care of a client. And finally, one day, I was making good money, right? And it's not about money, but I was making okay money, and everything seemed like it was going okay. And then then I couldn't stop using. This was right at COVID. Couldn't stop using anymore. And I said, man, everything's falling apart. I told my wife I quit my job. And she's like, what? Right? I'm like, that's what I do, right? I wreck things. And it's like my higher power, for me, Jesus again, right? Didn't let me wreck my own life. And my wife told me, start your business, right? Start your business. I'm like, dude, I can't even stay clean. What are you talking about? And I remember the scripture that says, in your weakness, I am strong, right? My strength is perfect, like in your weakness. And so as soon as I remembered that, I started it. Like, we got a client, and that paid up for all the bills. One client paid for all the bills for like this. It was like a reprieve from what I deserved, right? Because of one person that I understand that God sent through. So in my weakness, man, I started this life-changing thing. You know, I don't have to leave my kids this horrible thing of, you know, my legacy to them is not my addiction. It's this fight of don't give up, right? It's this keep your faith about you, because, you know, I wanted to get clean now after that, because I want to be an effective communicator of God's mercy on me. And I can't do that when I'm like out of my mind and just, you know, high all the time. I can't tell them how this God came through for me, you know, when I didn't have a phone. I can't tell them about this God who came through me when I couldn't stay clean, that I was going to go broke. And I couldn't tell people because they wouldn't take it seriously. And for me, that was ultimately like, God, can you help me out, man? Can you just help me, like, tell them how good you are without people thinking I'm a hypocrite, you know, without, and, you know, I tried getting clean one last time by going to like a Christian place, right? Before I went back to the rooms. And I remember being at that place, and I walked in, you know, I already had a business, and like, I thought I was cool, and like, I'm doing okay. Right. And I had already read the Bible. And I was trying to pray for somebody, and it's funny because, you know, in the Bible it says to cease without praying. I mean, pray without ceasing, sorry, backwards. And I got kicked out for praying for someone. They said, hey, you can't do that. You haven't been clean long enough to, I'm like, huh? I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, okay. So they kicked me out. My wife said, try going to that 12-step program, right? And, you know, being open to suggestion, man, I did. I took that suggestion. I went, changed my life. You know, the solution is there. I got a sponsor. And it's like this whole thing that I prayed, hey, have somebody get something good out of my life, right? God answered that, because if God would have made me or allowed me to be clean, me living my own life, I would have never looked back at anybody. Like you were sharing earlier about Chad and you know, the whole situation and how you opened everything up with. There's so much purpose. There's so much, like, there's a million reasons why, you know, to turn back and to hit this head on. And I'm just thankful because I have to remember that. That's why I drove over here, right? It's purpose. It's something I prayed for, that, hey man, all the things that I went through, cool. Have somebody, at least hopefully, God willing, get something good out of it. And, you know, I go to church, I go to my meetings, you know, I do the 12 steps. And I think I saw you guys say the other day, this is like extra credit here, right? And I love that. And, yeah, I've been married, I don't know, 11 years. 11 years, you know, I got 4 wonderful kids, and my life has changed, man. But it takes work every day, you know, praying and being thankful, trying to be in gratitude. There's a lot of times where even with all this, don't have it, right? But I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm clean. And hold on, right? The miracle is just around the corner. That's it.
Love it. So good. Your story, actually, if Chad was here, I know that he could relate a ton, because he started using the beautiful drug of methamphetamines at a really early age as well. And he got in a crazy car crash that he should have died. He didn't drive himself off, but I mean, he was under the influence. So there's a ton of relatability. But I mean, just your story is a testament of, like, you're here for a reason, because you should have not been here.
Definitely.
Same with Chad. I mean, like, nobody survives those types of car accidents on accident, you know? We like to say that we're the chosen ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all meant to worship something.
That's right.
We have a lot of practice doing it, right?
Yeah,
With the drug.
exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
might as well worship our higher
That's why
power.
we're the ones that the devil wants to come for.
Hey, yeah, time back into what Chad was saying.
Exactly. Thank you so much. It's amazing and a beautiful story, and well done, wife, because I think it's just another testament too of, like, a true partnership, you know, to suggest, to lead you. And the rooms, I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. Should we open it up, guys? Or Chad, do you have anything to say that you want to add on before we open it up? He's in the corner. I don't know if yeah, go ahead. Unmute him for a second.
Uh, so I was just, it was really good. I really enjoyed listening to you. I could have let you keep going, man. That was just, your story is incredible. Um, it's just amazing that, we get to live this second life of recovery. And our primary purpose, it talks about in the 12-step programs, man, our primary purpose is to carry a message, and you definitely did a great job carrying a message tonight, man. And yeah, I'm over here and over here with Julian on the East Coast, and I'm just gonna tell you guys, for some reason, it's 9:30 here, and it just you seem so much more tired. Because it's been dark for quite some time already since I landed it. I landed at like 6:30, which would have been like 3:30 our time. It was already dark.
You're hanging in though. You're hanging in.
Yeah. But this was great, man. I love I love hearing stories like this, man, and keep doing what you're doing. You're helping change lives, and that's what we do around here.
We're all answered prayers, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, who wants to share? I actually don't see any hands, which is really weird for this group. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
I'm not. I can't, bro, because I just want to call you Najist every single time.
Nace.
I know, Nace.
It's
Wait,
okay.
Naced? Naced?
Nace. Yeah.
I should actually remember that because it's like my brother's name, Nate, Naced.
Oh.
Okay, maybe that'll work for me. Okay, go
Hey
ahead.
man, thank you. Hey man, that was really cool because it's kind of like me when my stroke happened. Um, I was not done. Even almost died from my stroke. Came home out of my hospital, went home with mom, and I was not done. Mom was, you know, and I went home, make sure mom was there, and saw my homie guys over there, and hey, it was like I could talk better. But way back was new. I couldn't barely talk. I was like, hey, I need to do this. I need this. And now I'm 3 years sober now. I'm like,
Let's go.
fuck that shit. I'm done for the bad from doing beer because when I do beer, I do meth like that. And so thank you, man. That was really cool.
Thank you, Kelly.
Natty. Albert, your name's easy to remember because that's my brother-in-law's name, so I can't forget that even if I tried. Thank you for sharing. I could relate on a bunch of stuff. Like you, I too am hard-headed and would not take, I guess, like the signs, and would just like be like, oh no, I could keep going. I can keep going. I got this. I got this. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah. And another bump, another 20, another 20, and then a 20 would turn into an 8 ball, and but now I'm 10 months sober.
Shot
So
a baby.
Let's go.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Day by day, I wake up, talk to God, and get on my knees before everything. Of course, I have to take my plug out before that because then she interrupts. So take my plug out, then hit my knees. So take her out to go to use the bathroom, then hit my knees and give God all the grace. And because with His mercies, we are made new every morning.
Amen.
And I truly believe that, there's a lot of things that I have been soaking in recently, like sunrises, sunsets, just taking the time to be still and just, I guess, reflect in all the gratitude that I've been given through my sobriety because I've kind of been rushing through it a little bit now. But I think it's just because I'm going to reach a year. So I'm kind of getting a little nervous. But I'm still, just taking it day by day. So I still have my job. It's just on the weekends, but I mean, hey, that's more than I can say for the past 4 years. So, I'm entrusted with a business. I I never in my life would have ever thought that I could have ever would have been entrusted with the business. I'm going to be managing a mobile mechanic shop as well, taking care of the invoices and doing like the computer work and stuff and answering the phones for my boss too. So he's going to trust me with that. So, I mean, hey, I guess I'm not doing too bad.
That's right.
So, with God, if God be for me, who'll be against me?
That's right.
So thank you guys for letting me share, and thank you guys for giving me this safe space, and um, just you guys keep doing what you're doing, and if anybody needs anything, just reach out to me in the chat. I'm always there.
Love that. We love you, Kelly. I know I've said it before in this meeting, but what I love so much about it is that so many people come in here, really new. And Kelly, you were one of them that sticks out because you were still in your the treatment facility that you were at, and so the fact that you're coming up on 10 months is just another testament of you. You're doing it. Like you're staying the course, and it's really really cool to see. And I love that you get to share all the amazing, I say, promises that are happening in your life because it's a testament of what he can do when we surrender and let him control our life instead of us. So get it, girl. Oh, and also you said you're nervous about coming up on a year. I like to channel that instead of nervous, you're just excited. This is just a big deal. Devon.
What up, what up? Alam kako, di ba? Koino bello ki iyala 33 days.
That a baby?
Yeah.
Aloha kako, my name is Devon. And today I have 33 days, guys. I made a month clean and I've been working my ass off, right? I missed a couple weeks, but it's because I'm working my ass off. Like, fuck. My grandson is about to be born on the 25th. And that came like fast, right? And even this far in, right, I still struggle. I'm still struggling, right? And now I gotta find some place to go. Yeah. I did big plans and life be lifing. But as long as I stay clean through it, right? Thank you for your share, by the way. I can't remember your name for the life of me.
Albert.
Albert, thank you. Meth was my first love, the love of my life, right? And I never thought that it would take me so deep, but it's brought me here to California. And on the 20th, I leave to go back to Hawaii. My daughter is supposed to give birth on the 25th. So, that ticket is just killing me. I'm just like, God, $600. Okay, it's worth it, and I can do it. And Kelly, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you said something that hit me that I stopped doing in the mornings. I stopped hitting my knees, right? Because if you guys know me, that was my shit. I was on my shit, my knees hit the floor before my feet touched the ground. And I was praying, and I thank you, Kelly, because I needed that. Something as simple as pray every morning. Open your eyes, roll over, pray, right? Get to your meetings, do what you got to do, and stay clean, no matter fucking what. So I'm halfway through my fourth step again with my sponsor for the second time, right? And this time the resentment list at the very, very top. I put me twice. Me twice. She said, well, why you twice, right? Why do you resent yourself so much? I don't resent myself. I resent my choices, right? If I could go back and not relapse, if I could go back and just use my coping skills positively, right? But hey, life, right? We make mistakes. I'm an addict through and through. I don't need a reason to use, guys. right? I don't need a reason. It could be sunny, raining. I could be happy, mad. The day is going great. I'm having a shitty day. I don't need a fucking reason, right? I'm going to say this and shut up, I promise. But with that, I know that I also don't need a reason to stay clean. I don't need a reason to stay clean. I just stay clean because I have to, because I have kids, because my grandson is about to be born, right? And that's enough reason. And it starts with me first. I cannot stay clean for nobody else but myself first. I put me first today. I choose me first today. I love each and every single one of you. I love you all to pieces. Um, if you're new here, welcome home. Welcome to a new way of life. Coming back from a relapse, welcome back. I'm glad you made it back. Worth it. Stay. And if nobody's told you that they love you tonight, well, stay. I love each and every single one of you, and there's a damn thing anybody can do about it. Love you all of us.
We love you, Devon. Keep at it. Stay the course. Sylvia.
Hi guys.
Hi,
Sylvia,
Sylvia.
alcoholic. Hi, Sylvia, alcoholic addict. Albert, thank you so much for your share. You know, you're the first one that pretty much had my story. You know, I had that same conversation with God when I tried to run my car off a bridge. And I was pissed off at him, you know. I was pissed off saying, you know, why, what the hell, you know, why can't you just let me go? And, you know, that having that conversation with him was life changing because, you know, it's crazy because I remember that day, like I didn't really mess up my car too much, but I messed it enough, you know, that I barely got to be able to drive to work. But it's like I had so much alcohol, I had so much shit in my car. Like every time I would get pulled over for the stupidest shit, and then I drove to work that morning with tons of drugs and alcohol in my car, and highway patrols driving right past me, and nobody did shit. And I, you know, but that conversation that I had with God was the day that it turned me around, you know, and I know exactly how you felt climbing up that canyon. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I remember my ears getting really hot when because I closed my eyes and I drove, and those ears, when my ears got so hot, like here we go, here we go, here we go. And in that moment, you're just like, fuck, you know, this isn't your time. So like now, you know, I've just kind of been having to remind myself about that day because, you know, now that I'm sober, like life's becoming very lifey lately. And I forgot about what God has done for me. And I'm not having faith in him right now for some
Mm.
reason. I'm letting my lack of control and everything overpower my whole life right now.
Mm.
And I need to get back to the basics and get God trust in him again because I have to be grateful for all the things that he's done for me so far and remind myself. And it's funny because, like, you know, I'm dealing with stuff with my son, and and it's just I'm making it about me, and I need to stop that shit, you know, because it's about me being a failure as a mother when it's really, you know, it's supposed to be about him. And it's funny because, you know, I have this voice in my head whenever I start thinking about it's freaking Wendy's voice because we were watching Michael's performance, and that was the day that my son started acting crazy again. And she said, let him do, you know, let him go on his journey. And I have to, you know, and you know, and I got to remind myself that God's got me,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I loved what you said about like how the world hated me first. You know, it's just that's that shit. That's what I need to hear. Like I need to hear that stuff because it's always me against the freaking world, man. Nobody knows shit. Nobody knows I ain't special. I ain't special. I'm just like all you guys. But I really appreciate your share, Albert. I'm glad I signed out today. I love all you guys. Have a good night.
We love you, Sylvia. Wendy. Michael.
Wendy, alcoholic, addict, overeater, depression, anxiety. all the things.
Yeah.
The cool thing is today I don't suffer from these things, right? I have a higher power and a program that helps me manage them, which I think is so freaking cool today, right? I don't struggle, I don't suffer. I have an answer in so many other things. Anyways, thank you so much, Albert, for leading and for driving down there. I know it's quite the distance, and um, thank you for showing up and like you said, that message of hope, right? Because that is what it's about. That, you know, turning our pain, our struggle, our experience, and letting others see that no matter what, you can keep coming back. You know, no matter what it takes, no matter how many times, right? Like God's got us, and it's okay to come back. It's okay to come back, you know, and no, you don't have to lose everything. And like all the things that you said, and man, Covina Hills Road, right? So I'm from the area, Covina Hills Road. I know exactly where you're talking. And man, you know, you are a miracle. You are a miracle. And God does have a plan. And I love that part. You know, life for me is pretty darn good today. It's pretty darn good. And you know, I saw all these different things in the chat. I haven't been able to read it all, but I could see, you know, 27 days and 30 days and first time here, and I'm seeing all these things as they're popping up. And you know what? Welcome. Welcome to a beautiful group that will love you, support you. You need anything, you go into that chat, right? Like there's a community here, right? And it's a community that will like suit up for you no matter where you're at in your drinking, using, you know, maybe it's something else. It's like any hurt, any hang up, any habit, no matter what it is. I've never found a community that is so judgment free. I really haven't. I look forward to this meeting every single week. You know, and the struggle with those things that I have no control over, like that, you know, my kids, my mom, my, you know, totally gonna crosstalk, Sylvia. I love you, man. I love you. And, you know, the things that I say are the same things that I also need to hear. It's so hard for me to let my own child go on her journey to do what she's got to do. And I just got to trust that I can't get in the way, right? I can't get in the way of whatever it is. Like I can be here. I try to be available and approachable and not hurt myself and others. And what does that mean? I wait to be asked. I just live the big book. I live the program. I hope that I'm a good example, and I try to stay out of the way. And so, and it's what I know. So I love everyone here. And if it's your first time in this meeting, come back, get into that chat. You know, it's support that I know I need deeply. So I'm gonna turn it over to my better half.
We love you, Wendy.
You.
What's happening, y'all? Hey, Natalie, Chad. Albert, thank you for sharing. Amazing story. You definitely, it definitely kept me like engaged from like, damn, that part about the being suicidal and like following through with it. It was pretty wild that we were able that we get there and like without a second thought, like we just make these choices and then it just like it's insanity to be in a state of mind where it's like, yeah, I think taking myself out would be like the best option here. Like we could say that now, like in sobriety and we gain some clarity, but there's times where it seemed like the best option. It was like, I'm hurting myself, I'm hurting others, I don't feel like I deserve any of this. Like anytime I did have any sort of success, it would be self-sabotage because deep down I didn't feel like I deserved it. And yeah, it's I forgot who mentioned it, but as far as getting back to the basics, I think it was Sylvia. I've had to do that myself where like I'm going over another I started to write another fourth step for to go over with my sponsor because I'm noticing that I'm getting like where things are picking up in life where it was like maybe I think it was 2023. I wrote down all this stuff of like a 5-year plan and staying sober because this is the first time I've actually stayed sober and things are starting to materialize and I think still I had to fight with that demon of like the insecurity of like, well, maybe you don't deserve it, or what if this goes wrong, or what if that goes wrong? And it's like, as I'm getting into unknown territory of like making bigger moves of just like living life beyond your wildest dreams, which is something that they said initially in the program, and I didn't believe. I was just like, I just want to not be like in a 5150 hold like every freaking other weekend. Like that was like wildest dreams for me. But now it's like doing things like being able to utilize like music to share a message of recovery and sobriety. That's been a blessing for me to be able to find a community of other musicians and artists that are sober and who want to stay sober because quiet that want to stay sober because the music world is not really normally a sober place. It's like you're performing at bars and there's a lot of drugs and alcohol and everything else. But it's shown me I have to like continue to stay practicing the principles and like getting back to the basics. And I love when I hear people coming back, whether like I'm one of those ones where I'm like, relapse is a part of my story. So I think it's a beautiful space that Natalie and Chad have created where there is no shame. Like they encourage you, like, hey, you relapse, you got if you got 20 minutes, 24 hours, whatever it is. Because you never all it takes is one little moment of like fuck it and then be back out there and spiraling. So I'm just grateful for a place to that encourages everyone that no matter how long you have, like just keep on rocking and it's one day at a time. That's all we got. So again, I appreciate you. Natalie, love you.
We love
Charlie,
you.
appreciate y'all.
We love you guys. Thanks, Michael. Jesse. And then we'll end on Joe B.
What is up, guys? Let me pull you a little closer here. Man, amazing share. Thank you for that. I heard a lot of similarities, and what I really heard was God. And it's crazy how for me, I came into the rooms just because I got tired of my own shit, right? I ran out of options, and I so desperately wanted something different. Um, I had no idea that I was going to find God, no intention to find God. God was the last thing on my mind. Um, you know, I I grew up Catholic, so I never really believed in God. If you grew up Catholic, you'd understand. But I, it was shoved down my throat, and it's like, yeah, no, that doesn't sound appealing to me. Like I'm already going to hell, according to what they say, so fuck it. But these rooms open my eyes to what God really is, and that I could have my own version and call it whatever the fuck I want, as long as it's not me. And someone had mentioned hitting their knees, and that's something that I strive for all the time. Every morning, hit my knees, and I haven't in a while. So I needed this reminder. Um, it's always a good reminder. It's better than resting on my laurels, right? Um, I things have been pretty good lately, but that's when I need to be on my toes. Is when things get good is when I kind of try to take back control. And for me, if I take back control, then that's not a good thing. But I love you guys all. Thank you for this amazing meeting. Thank you all for being here, and have a great night. Oh, and remember, there's no one right way to recover. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Thanks, Jesse. We love you. Guys, just to clear it up, I just meant Joe B was the last one, not anything other than that. Dalton, you're next. And then iPhone, I don't know where you went, but you had your hand up too. So yeah, that's all that I was saying. That's all. Dalton, you're up.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm Dalton. I'm an addict. You know what I'm saying? Been through a lot of shit. I actually just took a leave off of school today. You know, I've been going to school for business and AI technology. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my education, and I had to like sit back for a second because the past few weeks I've been really trying. I had a showcase tour off in LA. I couldn't even make it because I didn't have the funds. Then like I kept on hearing these voices like, "Ah, why don't you just get high? You know, you're just tired. You're doing too much." You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, "Fuck!" Like it was driving me crazy. And like I do my recovery, then I do my school shit, then I go and do my music, and like I talked to my success coach today, and I told her what was going on, and she was totally understanding. I was like, thank God, thank God. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm working on getting back up on my feet. I got 6 months now,
That a baby?
and I'm not giving it up for nothing. I won't. The last run I had was the last run I could take. I was homeless for a year. Like everything bro said, I felt that 110% in my soul. You know what I'm saying? Because I started doing meth when I was 13. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just quit. I'm 30 now. I mean, I've been in this recovery thing for a minute, but like I didn't really want it. I found myself in Jacksonville, Florida, running around, just got out of the jail, and I was like, "Yo, God help me, bro. He's supposed to be my pops, huh? He's supposed to be my father. Help me, man."
Mm.
And then I met this chick named Lindsay the very next day, handing out pamphlets for recovery in California, and I ain't turned back since. Like I'm straight gung ho for this recovery shit. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
I get to lead a AA meeting next week or this Sunday down in Hollywood somewhere. I forgot the address, but like I'm doing this damn thing, and I ain't gonna let nothing take it from me. Whenever you start doubting yourself, though, you know what I'm saying? Just remember, you got this. Stay
Mhm.
strong. Don't give up. Stay positive. Be kind, but stay dangerous because you don't know what everybody's intentions are lying. You know what I'm saying? So like, whenever I get into like that mode, I just I just stay positive. Like, hey, it could be a hell of a lot worse. Been through a lot worse than this shit. I'm good. Yeah, but like this recovery thing, like I never thought I'd do it. Like I called my mom today and was talking to her about it. She's like, just do what's best for you, Dalton. And follow your heart. You got this. She told me she was proud of me and she loved me. I ain't really heard that from her in a long time, you know? And it gives me joy to know like they know that I'm really trying. But yeah, I love all y'all. Congratulations on everybody with your time. Hell, any minute sober is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, at that I'm done.
Thank you, Dalton. I'm so glad that you shared tonight. I'm glad that you're here. And also, just a reminder for everybody that wants to be in the chat, put your Instagram handle in our chat right now so we can add you to it. And also, if you have a private account, we can't add you, I believe. So I just wanted to make sure that was announced so that people don't think that we're not adding you if you are private. If you're not private, unprivate yourself for a second so we can add you and then you can private yourself again, I think. Right? I don't know if that's right or not, so don't quote me on that. iPhone.
Oh, hi, I need to change that. My name is Daniel.
Hi,
I'm an
Daniel. Welcome.
alcoholic addict. I just wanted to get on here real quick. I'm a little shy in getting on and speaking and stuff, but I'm new to this, and I'm making a commitment just to kind of get out there and start going to AA meetings. And I've always thought my way was the better way, and I never worked out. Like Albert was saying, hold on 1 second. So yeah, I related a lot to his story. I also had gotten incarcerated when I was younger. Started using meth when I was 15, and I had a um, divine experience with God in my jail cell. Prayed out to Him, and also, kind of similar thing. He just spoke to me, and he was with me through my whole incarceration. I was able to get through it, and went to fire camp, and it was actually something that I was able to actually turn my life around from what I thought, but I still had that addiction when I got back out. And so little by little, I started drinking again, and then I got back into it. But then I found a church, and started going to church. But then I lost my dad, and that was something that broke me. So I started using again, and I was able to do crystal meth because I had a heart problem in the past. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do cocaine. It's not as bad, which is not a really smart idea. So I got hooked on cocaine, and I got in a relationship, and I didn't really use that much. It was like every 3 months that I would use, like Albert was saying, but little by little, it started creeping in. I started noticing my coworkers started noticing a little bit of stuff, and then I lost my job. I lost my girlfriend that I was living with. And I had to move out. Wasn't able to, support as a man, and I started realizing that my addiction was affecting me again. So I came back to LA, and thank God I still have my car, and I'm not homeless. My mom, she let me come back and live with her and stuff, but it doesn't feel so great, coming back to the start of things, when I grew up. And so I'm back, and I'm having to face my demons, and get those skeletons out of my closet, and deal with the trauma that those generational curses. My dad, he died from alcohol, so I gotta break that curse in my generation, so I could be able to have a family one day. I don't have kids yet and stuff, but I it's a goal of mine. I want to have a family and stuff, so I gotta start off somewhere. So I'm here, and I'm making that commitment. Keep on joining your guys' podcast, and it's a pleasure to hear these stories and testimonies. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm so glad that you're here tonight, and we better see your face next week because that's what it's about. That's how we start. That's how we get back up. That's how we, it comes from humble beginnings, and it keeps us right. So I'm super proud of you for sharing tonight because I understand. I get it. It's very difficult to raise your hand and share, especially in a Zoom. So you're doing it, and welcome. And I love that, Dalton, you shared tonight too. I love anybody that's brand new or people that are like hiding in this meeting. You guys share. We want to hear from you. Don't hide. Joe B, bring us on home.
What up, Nat?
Oh, just holding it down for
You're doing a good job. You're doing a really good job while Chad's on the East Coast. Now he knows how I feel.
I'm sure. I think Chad might be sleeping right now.
He's out cold, right? He's out cold.
He has his pillow like Julian, ready to go.
Yeah, it's dark over here, man. It's tired. It's cold. It's not pretty. This ain't palm trees in Southern Cali, man. It's
cold over here right now.
All right, I hear you. It is. It's cold in Florida, so it's just cold everywhere. But all right, Joe Alcoholic. Great shares around the room. The speaker, that was great, bro. I mean, I identified a lot with the beginning stage of your life, how you would go to school and see people live differently. But it's funny. I didn't think my life at home was different. My family life was kind of normal. It was just my experience. I just felt out of place constantly. I never felt wanted or liked or loved. And I sought that on the outside. For anyone counting days or anyone struggling or saying to yourself, I'm sober, why am I not happy? There's more work to do, right? There's more work to do. It's not just being sober. We drank and we drugged because we couldn't quiet this. We couldn't find anything that made me happy. Yo, 10 years ago yesterday, I hit the lotto. I never said this publicly. I hit the lotto. It wasn't millions, it was six figures. Shit was gone in
What?
2 months. Yeah, I swear to God, that's a story for another day. But I hit the lotto, and it made me feel like I was this big guy, like just like it was gonna solve all my problems. And it didn't. I was broke again in a couple of months, back into debt again. I just had money to manipulate and maneuver before I hit that bottom. That's all it was. So you could have gave me $10 million. I would have been broke because I wasn't recovered. Right. And even this time around, if I'm coming into the rooms, but I'm just abstaining from alcohol and drugs, I'm even worse than when I'm out there, because at least when I'm out there, I'm numbing the thought and the brain and the emotions and the feelings. But when I'm sober and I'm not doing anything to replace the drink or the drug, I'm a lunatic and I'm hurting and I don't want to live. You know what it's like to want to die sober? It's insane, right? Luckily, there's a solution. So if you're struggling right now, you don't ever have to struggle again at all. You could be as happy as I am when I see the ice cream truck coming down the block. It's simple, right? Get a home group, get a commitment, get a sponsor, get phone numbers, because if your sponsor dies, you're beat. So get multiple numbers. That's it. It's really simple, man. Just let go and share about whatever you're feeling. This shit really does work. I was a mess. I did not want to live, yet I couldn't die. I'm almost got 3 years under my belt. Life is lifing, but God is guarding. That's just really
right.
simple. Like there's no tricks. There's nothing I could tell you that I'm holding or gatekeeping. Do the steps. Work the program. This shit works. Also, Von shouldn't crosstalk, but I'm real proud of you, bro. Von just transformed in the last 2 months, man. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. It's a beautiful thing. And he got it from the steps and God and shifting the perspective, and that's what we do. Every single one of us could be a legitimate baller, and not the type of baller you're thinking of. Like life, just life is awesome if you do this the right way. Get out of your way, ask for help. Life is golden. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for the time.
I love that, Joe. I'll give you a little nod too. And Von is on fire too because he has strong sponsorship. That sponsor being you. So don't forget that. And for everybody that's new, I just want to take a second because we do normally our meeting is supposed to end at 7 p.m. But we always, anybody that has a burning desire, we make sure that we allow them to share before we end the meeting. So Moses, you are the burning desire tonight. Moses, are you there? Are you there?
Trying
There
trying
you
to get it trying to get it to work. Sorry. I'm new here. I just wanted to say hi, and I guess I got 2.5 years under my belt now.
Nice.
Me and my wife. I've been through a lot, man. Prison. I did 4 years in prison. I ended up in a coma and from shooting up and stuff like that. And God, somehow I ended up opening up my eyes, and from there on, I ended up just, I don't know, changing my life. We ended up, I would never thought I would end up here where I am right now. Me and my wife are here. Let me see, how do I say it? Like, we, we've been building our foundation really strong, both of us together. We have 3 kids, and we have one that was born blind. And, I don't know, I don't know, I'm really bad at talking on these, but I just, been through a lot. It's been through a lot. Thanks God I opened my eyes and I'm here now, but I'm opening up doors that I never thought I would have. And it's thanks to God, man. It's just thanks to God I've been doing this. But I just wanted to really introduce myself and say a little bit of my story, and thank Jesse. He's the one that gave me the invite to come and see you guys, see what's up. So, and I enjoy it. You guys are a good group, really good group.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I just want to introduce myself, okay?
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Moses, for raising your hand and introducing yourself to the group. Jesse, that a boy. Spreading the love, spreading the hope. I love that. Albert, thank you so much for an incredible lead tonight. You touched a lot of people, and tonight's shares were awesome. Chad, do you want to unmute yourself so that you can? Did I just get timed out? Wow. Chad, do you want
Finally,
to?
she got timed out, and it wasn't me.
I just figured you wanted to unmute so you could lie to everybody.
Well, yeah. So if everybody could go ahead, I know it's late now. I know how.
Yeah,
y'all
Chad's
feel
ready
on
to
the-
go. Yeah, exactly. Now Chad
on
wants to
East
end the
Coast,
meeting on
everybody
time.
wants to go to bed. So what I need everybody to do is turn on the cameras, because we are the only.
That's right.
The only
Mm-hmm.
meeting, Zoom meeting in the entire universe that dances out
Lie to
that
him.
I know of. And Julian's already dancing. See,
My
over
dad's
on the
not.
East
Oh,
Coast,
there's
you
my
start.
dad. There you go. Oh, you got
All right,
muted.
ready?
You got
Go ahead
timed
and
out
hit
too,
that
Chad.
button, Emily.
Okay, Emily. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you again, Albert, and we love you guys. Amen. Mwah.
Recording.